Hello, if you've stumbled across this video, you either have an artificial disc replacement surgery coming up or you are researching to see if that's something that makes sense for you. I actually have two coming up, one on July 19th for my C6, C7 disc and one in September for my L5, S1 disc. Both of these will be done by Dr. Brent Kimball at a Sky Ridge Medical Center here in Littleton, Colorado. Um, Leading up to this, I obsessively researched and tried to find anything I could on artificial disc replacement. And I think the things I found most beneficial were YouTube videos of actual people that have gone through this and their experiences. So I want to be able to do the same thing and give back to folks that may be going through the same thing. So I plan to do a series of 5 to 6 videos, just kind of documenting my experience and giving any tips that I have along the way. So a little background, 40 years old, I've had 10 plus years of lower back pain. There's no car accident, no sports injury, just kind of wear and tear and a little bit of genetics as well. I've tried everything from physical therapy, injections, nerve ablation, and even stem cell therapy, which is really expensive because it's not covered by insurance companies. Early on, surgeons were only thing they were talking about was fusions, and that given my age, it's something that they said you should hold off as long as you can to have surgery. Nothing was ever mentioned about artificial discs. Even 5 years ago, it wasn't even on my radar, and didn't seem like it was on theirs either. I know it was done in Europe primarily, and it's really kind of becoming more popular in the United States now, but really never did much other than a few consultations with surgeons because all they were talking about was fusions, and that's something that I wasn't ready for. So I ended up in pain management and really take quite a bit of medication every day just to really be able to support my family. The medication certainly helps. Without it, probably be bedridden for most of the time. But the quality of life, given kind of my condition, is miserable. So exhausting everything else I could find. It really is time for surgery. So sat down with my pain management doc and referred me to a surgeon that here in Colorado specialized in artificial disc, and he thought I'd be a good candidate. So made a appointment with them, and it's important to mention during that time, or really the 5 months leading up to that, I had experiencing some shoulder pain and left arm pain. I thought I had injured my shoulder. My doctor said, well, maybe your neck. So when I actually went to have my first consultation for the lumbar artificial disc, they require a newer MRI, and I had mentioned my neck, and they said, well, let's just do an MRI of both the lumbar and the cervical just to see what's going on with the neck. So got a call actually the next day from the MRI saying that I had a pretty large disc herniation at C6 and C7, and it was severely impinging the nerve root. Which had really has been my strength in my left arm is about 75% gone. I think that's what they're most concerned about, is potential permanent nerve damage. So after waiting 10 years to finally have something done for my lower back, my neck kind of came out of nowhere, and that had taken the priority. So that'll be the first surgery that I have on that one. So the disc, Pro Disc C. I know there's a lot out there. You see a lot of marketing videos and all these companies. My surgeon uses a few different ones, but I asked, what does he prefer? He said Pro Disc C. He's more comfortable with that, and he really has done more of those. So, I'll say I want him to be comfortable with the tools he knows how to use best. So I have no problem with that, and those discs seem to have good data on them too. The next and last hoop was insurance. You hear horrible stories about this, about them declining stuff, about the hassle of the whole process. It was actually really easy for me. I was a little bit shocked. I have United Healthcare, and they approved this within a few days. I think part of that is due to the severity of my condition, but also their policies have changed quite a bit. I mean, even this year, a lot of these insurance companies are kind of going with this, given the right circumstances, especially cervical. I hear lumbar is harder to get approved, but no issues with the insurance company. So from there, and that kind of behind me, it was really now on kind of planning for the surgery. And one of the first steps was a physical. So with my primary care physician, standard physical stuff, but also an EKG, full blood work. Really the point of this is just to make sure you're healthy to be able to get through a surgery like this. Next was pre-admission with the hospital, so got a chance to go there and see the hospital spine center and the various rooms, and just kind of helps you visualize where you'll be, which is helpful. Also, a full medical review over there, and then they give you really some take-home stuff, which I was not prepared for or expecting, but it makes a lot of sense. It's more around preparing and protecting against infection. So they give you a few things. First is some wipes, and basically use this 5 days up to surgery right when you get out of the shower each day, and you spend a good minute scrubbing the area where they're cut into, and then another few minutes basically scrubbing everywhere else. And I think the point is just to rid your body of as much bacteria as possible. The next thing is something that's actually prescription. Some sort of ointment, and really, once again, 5 days in a row leading up to the surgery. You take a cotton swab of that or a Q-tip and put it in each nostril. Helps with infection, I guess, as well. So those are my next steps. Next video will be actually me going to the hospital a little bit in pre-op surgery, and then out of pre-op or out of surgery rather, and seeing how I feel. So see you then.